What's up, guys? Powerbang here, and I'm bringing you guys a video, your once a quarter video on farming. I'm just joking about that, but it has been a while. But I'm getting asked all the time lately, especially after the update, where is the new farming hotspot? Where are you farming? What are you farming with? I wanted to show you guys a couple raids here to go ahead and answer that question. Maybe we'll follow that up with a live raid, see how things go. But basically, guys, I don't pay attention to where I'm farming, but I have noticed that once I've gotten back into the Crystal Leagues, as soon as I hit about mid-Crystal 3, I found that the loot had gone up drastically. All of the bases are packed with loot, and quite a few of them are just like this. They're collector raids. That means the outside of the base, these collectors are full. You can see the graphics there with the gold, the buckets and the mine carts are full. The elixir, I mean, notice the elixir, guys. It's just each of these, if you see these full up, collectors, that means there's a lot of loot, and you should probably use, your army to go ahead and collect it. So, I mean, look at this one over here. That's almost a full elixir collector. So I decide to, when your queen's heading around the base, I use Super Queen, which means I bring eight healers. I typically deploy 6, and then I'll have 2 in reserve in case air defense targets them or something, like is happening right now. You might see another one get dropped in to go ahead and replace the ones that were lost. So that's kind of how I work the queen. You see another healer right there. Make sure you use a different angle than the rest of the healers are at. That way, you don't just send them right back into harm's way. They take a better angle, and when you round the next corner, they're typically safe. So that's kind of how I work the healers. And then make sure you start on the edge of the trash ring on the opposite side and start taking out those collectors where you can with your archers. So that's kind of what's going on. You want to focus on picking up the collectors that your queen will not have time to get to, which you can see going on right now. I get that dark, and there's only 63 dark elixir left in the base. And notice your queen is just continuing to churn through the base, everything looking good. Now on the top, this is another collector we don't think that queen's going to have time to get to, so we will go ahead and drop some archers on that as she rounds the corner, and it becomes certain that that queen's not going to make it there. So there she comes, working down the last little bit of collectors. The archers over there go ahead and take everything out, and you're going to see that available loot plummet very quickly, all the way to almost 0 as the queen finishes up the trash ring there. There we go. We're down under 1,000 loot per resource, which is awesome. We have cleaned this base out, and when you include the loot bonus that was included here, fantastic loot. So that's awesome. Great job on this raid, picking up, an easy farm raid. It's not like there's much to it, but when you factor in the loot bonus, like 70k I think for Crystal 1, it ends up being over 900,000 resources, along with over 3k dark elixir, or almost 3k dark elixir. So yeah, you try to also achieve 70% if you can with that Super Queen. That way you get the full league bonus. Now let's go look at another raid. Let's go check out just a very common style base. What you're looking for, guys, are these dead inferno towers. You can see how they're kind of dulled out. They're not bright. They're not burning on the top ball, that sensor up there. And the expos, they don't have the normal bolts in there, the elixir rods basically that they shoot. And then again, guys, I found some collectors that were full, accessible via my archers, and I went ahead and took care of business with them. So I'm going to start my queen on the edge of the resource ring, basically, as best I can. I decided to start her right at the dark elixir drills because they're all clumped together up here. There's one over on the right side there, and there's 2 clumped together, and I figured I'd start them on one side where they're clumped and walk them to the other. That way I didn't want to miss that 4,000 dark elixir or whatever it was that was available. It was just so much to go ahead and not get. So I decided to drop in archers over here to go ahead and take out those gold mines, get some easy loot while they were focused on the queen, and also take out that cannon for some funneling. That way the queen didn't come back once those buildings were down. So she's going to continue to go around the base because the buildings on the left have been taken out, and that is going to be that. So now we only have 12 archers left. We have two healers left, and that healer, the extra healers can actually be dropped in just like so to go ahead and reinforce your queen position. You'll notice how a couple of those healers got banged up pretty bad, so we go ahead and reinforce with healers as they walk around. Now, when you get in trouble and you have too much damage coming in, drop a rage spell there and make sure that it includes your queen and your healers in it. That way the queen can burst through the additional damage coming in a more quick fashion, as well as the healers being raged up does just tremendous amounts of healing heals, I guess, on your queen, and it's going to heal her up much more rapidly than just standing there. Sometimes it's truly the difference between life and death for your queen, so those rage spells are massive. Now I decide to go ahead and drop some wall breakers here that I have left 4 on each corner here in front of the cannon and the archer tower, just like so. You know, obviously it's not a great distraction, but it was something, and all I was trying to do was get as much loot as possible with my remaining archers. The queen, as she rounds the corner here, it's obvious she's going to pick up these really full collectors and do a great job with that. And all we're trying to do at this point is just extend the raid as long as possible to go ahead and pick up some extra loot, if at all possible. So we get in there, we start having to deal with a level 40 king, so we're going to have to use that ability here. Use that ability, lock onto him, take him out pretty quickly, and then we'll move up with just 10 seconds to go in the raid, take out the last couple buildings, get us a little bit of loot, and that is going to be that. So overall, we left a little gold on the table, but that's okay. I'm personally trying as a new Town Hall 10 for Elixir and Dark Elixir as a top priority. Elixir to keep my lab going, guys. It's a top priority. And if you'll notice, everything in there seems to cost 6, 7, 8 million, you know, resources. I've got max freeze in there right now, but, you know, you got to keep that thing going. I've got 9 days to max my elixir. It should be plenty possible with this strategy of farming in crystal and using Super Queen. So let's go ahead and look at another raid here. What do we show so far? We showed a collector raid. We showed another one with a, you know, dead core and whatnot. Let's go ahead and look at this one more. I'll stop on this one. This is kind of something, a point that I'd like to make. Obviously, the Inferno towers are burnt out, just like I showed in the last one, which is something that's very common that I'm seeing in Crystal 1. The Expos have no bolts in them, so obviously that's all dead stuff. Usually a great indication that when you look at the collectors, they're going to be full of loot, in which case you can see right here. But how do you know where to start the queen? Would you start your queen over here? Probably not. The reason why is because all of the collectors are up here going around the base. So what you want to do is pick a spot that makes sense, typically on the edge of the ring. You want to pick an edge of the ring and funnel your queen back towards the resources. So what I chose to do was drop some clearing troops over here on the left to create a nice little funnel, and also pick up this full collector inside the walls before my queen is dropped. So my queen is dropped up here. The goal is to force her up to take out that resource ring like I showed you before. It is a level 30 king coming out to greet her, so we're going to not treat him you know, lightly. We're going to drop that poison spell, and that's a trick that you can use on heroes, guys, to really slow down their attack. This works on both the king and the queen, and notice how she takes him out with ease with only 6 healers on her. So continues around the resource ring, taking out all of the collectors, which is exactly what we want. We'll go ahead and watch this in 2x to kind of speed it up. And you'll notice the Dark Elixir pumps are the only source of focus in the base that the queen may not get to because of time. She will reach these down here. That's something we just know because we felt it out. But a very, very easy, you know, swap there by dropping 2 archers. We take out that building really nicely. That's something that you can do while your queen is walking, guys. If you find buildings that are out of range of the defenses, use 1 or 2 archers to go ahead and take them out very efficiently. But when you go ahead and drop more troops here, let's watch this, this barracks. When you know you're in range, get it done. Power through and overwhelm the defenses. You see there's a cannon, there's 2 archer towers firing. You want to make sure that you overwhelm the defenses so you can truly get in and kind of blitzkrieg, basically, take out the Dark Elixir drill. Notice I take that out. There is absolutely no splash damage in range. We get that dark taken out, and notice there is no more dark left in the base. The queen has picked up the drill on her side. Both drills on the archer side have been taken out, and at this point it's just a matter of picking up the last little bit of gold, which happens to be down here, and also trying our best to get to that 70% so we can pick up our full loot bonus. So guys, that's kind of farming right now in the Crystal Leagues. It's been very, very consistent and easy. Really, really like what I'm seeing. And again, guys, I don't necessarily pay attention to where I'm farming. All I did, you know, previously when the update came out is I dropped down to roughly silver 1 or so, and I just used my Super Queen. I try to get all of the loot in the trash rings or all of the storages as I walk around, and by doing that, I almost always get over 50%. So by default, it's a winning situation. So let's go ahead, hop into a raid here, and maybe we'll look to do a live raid if we can find one quick enough here. Otherwise, I'll just call the video. But basically, wanted to give you guys, you know, a live look in here. I mean, just look at all of the loot right now with that Super Queen. So what I want to do is notice how all of the collectors out here are pretty full of dark. So what I'm going to do is check and see if I can drop 1. And it looks like I can get that one with 1. It looks like I can get this one with 1 over here, and I don't think I can get this one with 1. So what I want to do is just kind of overwhelm it, which is great, and then we will go ahead and drop in 1 archer to all of these that we can, and then we will go ahead and get what we can, and then overwhelm the rest, basically, so you guys can kind of see how I'm using my my troops to go ahead and farm. Well, what's the plan down here, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked, guys. Let's go ahead and get in. So we will go ahead and funnel over here, and we will funnel on these army camps, and then we will go ahead and drop in the queen. So we're going to drop her to where this is going to open up the wall. That's the intention. So there's the wall. It's opened up. And she's going to head into the base now. That is the overall goal, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and avoid the mortars if at all possible, sneak those wall breakers by, open up the wall, and that is going to get her into the core. That is the goal. We'll drop the rage spell there. Keep her raged up, guys. She's going to head in and basically get access. My only concern right now is actually exiting the base rather than going in. She did go in, which is awesome. That is kind of exactly where I wanted her to go. Can't get in any farther with those wall breakers, so what I'm going to do is actually wait until drop in a couple more healers just because that archer tower is locked on. I will drop in drop in a jump spell to go ahead and make sure that the pathing stays to the core. So now she is locked onto that core. The rage spell she is standing in, the healers are, you know, locked onto her. So everything looking good. We may have to drop one more rage spell as the queen is going to lock onto the town hall. Please use that jump spell. We still have the ability at our disposal as well, but my goal here is to go ahead and we want to, I'm going to go ahead and drop. There we go. So she should hop the wall. Hop the wall, baby. Oh, no, she's going to go to the left. So that's unfortunate. The next closest is going to be the archer tower, and she is going to head around. So I do miss the core resources, which is unfortunate. Maybe if we can go back to the core right now that we get this king taken out. So that's the goal, guys. We'll see in 44 seconds if she will do that. It doesn't look like she will, but she is going to swing inside right now, and it looks like we might have a chance here to go ahead and pick up that elixir collector, or the storage, excuse me, in there. But the biggest thing, guys, is making sure that the Inferno Tower doesn't leave us damaged for our next raid. So apologies for looking down that whole time. So she's going down pretty quickly. We'll use that ability, get her healed right back up. Take out the cannon, and we will get out of here. So that is that. Again, guys, you can see a very, very, very lucrative raid, taking out quite a bit. We did miss the storage in the middle, which I really wanted to get, but that's kind of how you take on a Town Hall 10 with the Infernos. Avoid them if possible. Take out what you can with your, you know, your archers, which I did. I didn't pay attention too much to the gold because like I said, I'm not prioritizing gold. I want elixir, I want dark elixir, and then you'll notice after the raid we pick up a nice star bonus there of 220k a piece and 1100. So beautiful, love it. That's how I'm farming, guys. Super queen. Take wall breakers, take at least 8. And then take, you know, 100 plus archers, and that's going to get you guys the ability to queen walk around the base if you need to. That's going to help you with collector raids. And then, like you just saw, you can actually wall break in, use jump spells to go ahead and access the core and take out storages inside, you know, elixir storages or gold if you're looking for that, that are grouped together or, you know, away from Inferno Towers. So very, very easily done. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Powerbang providing my insight, my perspective on what I do for raiding in farming. So hopefully that's helped. We'll see you guys in the next video.